these libraries and those libraries are already there. So we're using Google Generative AI library for working. We're also using Gemini 2.0 Flash. So these are some of the most of the important tools which we need in this. We are also using IPython display tools so be able to render the output so it will be friendly for our users, for the end user to be able to see what we are doing. Once you ask a question, the model you give a first. For instance, I want to know what Daniel 14 says, and we want to get a friendly response, a platform in which you have a friendly response, so which you can be able to read through and be able to understand. And the second part or the second step is that I configure the API key. This is really the making sure I'm able to use the tools for the Google platform which I have. So I created the Google API key. I have the API I'm connecting. I'm using API to connect to different platforms so I can be able to retrieve or get the data which I need, or even get make use of the tools which I need. And so I'm using this Google API key which I already configured. If you look how I configured here, I go to the secrets, and it's already here. You see it's already enabled, and I already have this one added to my toolbox. So I go next. The third step is routing and processing this Brady Stevenson Bible data. This one I'm creating a RAG. A RAG is a kind of a retrieval-augmented generative data set. It's like I'm creating a database, and I'm making sure like I have like all the data attached to that, so that wherever I need to retrieve this data to make any kind of interpretation or to answer any kind of questions, I have this one in my backend. So this is what I'm really doing here. So hopefully my video is showing this, because I missed this part previously. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's showing that. Okay. So we get this, and this is the implementation using this code. I created the function process Sherpherd text. This is really the function which is going to kind of embed or process this paper data and create like a corpus. So whatever I'm asking a question, it can be retrieved from the from the database which I've already created in this. So I run this one, and I'm able to see it whatever I need. Yeah. Then the next part is running the Sherpherd, the knowledge base, the Bible text. I think I already did this. Let's see. Let's make sure. I think this is a kind of repetition. Process Sherpherd text. Okay. Try and make sure. Oh yeah, this is the other part which kind of giving me annotated scripture references for this. So I run this one. I have this is time to encode this. I need to process the data set. So it's creating this 72,000 at this 92 text chunks. So I was able to accomplish this. I downloaded the Bible as a text from Stevenson, and I bought this as CSV file as a chunk scripture in commentary segments. So the fourth part is creating the vector database. So this is like creating a semantic search engine, which really is the power behind Mchungaji. It's ability to retrieve the spiritually aligned text of the query. And this is I've created this function to do that. In fact, I'm using the vector stores the files, and I'm also using these embeddings, the Hugging Face embeddings, to create an embedded data set. So in this case, I created the environment for TensorFlow, CPP, to get all these whatever the embeddings which I need. And this one is taking some time, but save. I was able to. I'm using GPU to enable me move fast and quick to retrieve the data which I need. So as it runs through, I'll explain what it means to do like a few short examples. This is just like exactly the way the word means. You are just kind of creating short questions and short answers. This is meant to guide the model so that it can be able to align or answer correctly the way it's supposed to. So this section is about creating those short prompts, short questions, which are designed to guide the Gemini model in generating the structured, meaningful, the paper analysis. Uh, these are kind of curated examples which we use to teach the natural language models on how to interpret the given paper files and respond to consistently to the readable JSON format, and also provide the structured, a response which we need. Uh, so these are some of the few short prompts which you already created here and their responses. And I have this model, this part which has like a prompt. For instance, you have like a question, what does Daniel 11 say about this? So the way this question is going to be answered is based on the user query. This is the user query. Then the book is going to be broken down into chunks, the chapter, the theme, and the few figures, notable events, and symbolism, or even interpretation summary, then relevant cross references. So this is the kind of the workflow through which this question is going to be broken down and answered subsequently. And uh, I've seen a case like this one for the prompt again. Part two, it is equally. Now this is example one. It is like, what does the Nigerian say about king of the north and the king of the south? And what they historically. So looking at this, it's really giving me how breaking this how this is going to be responded to. And this is the second example. Yeah. We're almost there. Awesome. So now the semantic retriever is ready for use. Proceed down here. We can be able to implement now the RAG, which is the Retrieval-Augmented Generative part, so I can be able to use that to search the engine to get our questions answered. So it works. It takes the paper rated input, which is a FASA question, then uses the retriever from step 4 to semantically search the vector database to process of the processed text. And this helps correct most relevant documents and combines them, getting that readable context. This method is really important in kind of guiding the model to respond appropriately. So this is the retriever. We create a function called generate Sherpherd interpret, which is looking at the first meaning and getting the first 100 chunks of the data which is in the RAG, so it can be able to use it in creating a meaning or as a response for whichever question or prompt which has been asked. And almost finally, we have how we kind of give this output, how we present the data to the end user is, we create a widget whereby end user can be able to kind of enter his prompt or question. And how he enters the question, you get the response. And a kind of GUI, graphical user interface, which is so friendly for the user. And this is kind of how we have this one done. So example, what does Revelation talk about? So we use this. Now this is the friendly, so it's giving us this kind of friendly response. We have prophecy interpretation. What does Revelation talk about? Okay, and prophecy talking about the end of prophecy of Christ, the second coming of Christ. And this the person is relevance to the prophetic symbols of this. The symbols relate there is an Antichrist period of tribulation. These are some of the references, and these are kind of the relevant quotations. Then, so finally, we do the kind of testing and validation of the Bible questions. And we have some of questions which we use to, kind of do validation. Is our model working? Is our model accurate? Is it giving accurate results, or is it hallucinating? So when you're looking at that, we have several questions which we want to see how the model is responding. For instance, Revelation 13, verse 1 and 8, which is the best? This is some of the questions we expect the theme. We expect it to talk about Antichrist, second coming, or judgment. This is the theme in this. And when you talk about other, like this is one of the sample queries, and spread the sample query function queries 1, 2, 3, and then generate the biblical interpretation, process this. And when if we go implement it, we can say, let's have these sample cases and see how it's going to respond. So for instance, we have this one now. See those kind of cases, how it does. We have Daniel 7. He shall speak or great words against the Most High and think to change. So the theme for this is interpretation. It's about the Antichrist power and it's about change. He shall speak great words against the Most High. And the validation, okay. Yeah, it's supposed to be about Antichrist power and Sabbath. So the AI was able to identify this as about Antichrist power and this. So in summary, this is about prophecy interpretation assistance, and generally it's about Bible interpretation. It's a support system for any user, and it's using Gemini 2.0 Flash which is a powerful language for understanding and generating, text. The knowledge base, this is it integrates scripture context, the Bible verses for each chapter and verses, and also some other verses, some other kind of books, like prophetic books, like from Energy Wise, for those people who know, and for those you want to use this model, you can use it to meet your, customize it to your religion, customize it to your own kind of interpretation, because you only need to feed it with the information which you train with different information. It can be rich enough, it has enough base knowledge, so it can be able to answer your questions. In short, this was really an awesome opportunity. Don't take everything here like everything is not really a replacement of the Bible. We are creating the model so that it can be a support system. So let the Bible be its own interpreter or expositor. The Bible or the scripture should be compared to the scripture. And, this does not really replace the careful, prayerful study or spirit-led conviction. Thank you so much. My name is Silas Matthew again. If you want to reach out to me, I'm here in Chicago. I'm still running, work in progress. I work on the model, make sure it's really the best. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you for listening to me.